Good evening, everyone. Welcome you to the Writing Business Case webinar. And this webinar is brought to you by IABA Chennai chapter in association with Physics, the business analysis company. Today we'll be having a great deal of discussion around writing a business case. And there was an overwhelming response. About 690 business analysts have registered for this webinar. And that shows like there is a greater interest among business analysts to learn about writing a business case. And at this point of time, I would like to thank Mr. Kannan Santhanam. He is the president IABA Chennai chapter, and he is behind organizing these webinars every month for the benefit of business analysts. Just I would like to share, there is a magazine available for business analysis, that is ba-today.com. It was launched a few weeks back. Just I am taking this opportunity to introduce this magazine for your information, and you are encouraged to write articles on this magazine, and your articles will be published in this magazine. Your experience can be shared across other business analysts. So let us first get into the context. The thing is, like, we are talking about writing a business case. We are talking about a business case, and where does it fit within the BABOK version 2? At this point of time, we have the active one is the BABOK version 2, that is the business analysis body of knowledge, which is coming from IABA Canada. And in BABOK version 2, we totally have 9 chapters. And I would like to classify these 9 chapters into 2 groups. One is foundation chapters, the other one is knowledge areas. Under foundation chapters, we have introduction, underlying competencies and techniques. Under knowledge areas, we have 6 chapters. They are enterprise analysis, business analysis, planning and monitoring, elicitation, requirements analysis, requirements management and communication, solution assessment and validation. Just a moment, it seems there is a question. Okay, fine. So here we have 6 knowledge areas, and we have these 6 knowledge areas in front of us. They are connected by these arrowheads, ranging from enterprise analysis to solution assessment and validation. And during this, what a business analyst is doing, he starts with a need, problem or opportunity, and it goes through the various stages, elicitation, requirements analysis and so on, and finally we validate the solution. So where does this business case fit in this? In this whole framework, where does it fit? It fits in enterprise analysis. In enterprise analysis, what we are doing as a business analyst, in one of the department, say I'm working as a VP for one of the department, say a customer service department, I'm VP customer service in one of the organization. There is a need for customer relationship management software. So I write a business proposal and I send it to the enterprise analyst, who is also the senior business analyst. I'm sending it to him, and the job of the enterprise analyst is to create a business case for the business proposal. So in the whole of enterprise analysis, what we are doing, there is a perceived need, problem or opportunity from one of the stakeholder or a stakeholder group within the organization, and he creates a business proposal. The business proposal is something which is asking for certain capability. Ultimately, it is asking for money. It is asking for a capability, a system, a improvement, a change within the organization. So that is the need, problem or opportunity. It has been perceived by one of the stakeholder or a group of stakeholders within a part of the organization, and he creates the business proposal. The business proposal is, it is asking for something, and this business proposal has been sent to the enterprise analyst or a senior business analyst, and he transforms this business proposal into a business case. The job of an enterprise analyst is to create a business case to support a business proposal. Not necessarily to support always, but the thing is, like, once he is convinced, then he prepares a business case. So now In enterprise analysis, the whole job done here is the business proposal has been transformed into a business case. With this understanding, let us move on. Just I want to put you in context with where this business case fits into BABOK. Now the next thing is, in enterprise analysis, what we are doing now, we are focusing on enterprise analysis. Gradually we will get into the business case. What we said, there are kind of like, you can see the 5 stages. We create a business proposal, or someone within the organization, he or she created a business proposal. It is based on the need, problem and opportunity. It is indicated as NPO here, need, problems and opportunities. And from the business proposal, this is given to the enterprise analyst. He performs enterprise analysis activities, and at the end of his activities, he prepares the business case. And this business case is presented in front of the management for business case review, or you can call it as a business case presentation. It has been reviewed, and at the end of this review, the management reviews, that is the enterprise analyst presents the business case to the management, and the management reviews it. And what is the role performed by this enterprise analyst here, or the senior business analyst? What is he doing here? He is facilitating the management to make a decision. As a business analyst or the senior business analyst, we don't do decisions for the stakeholders. We enable them, or we facilitate them, or we equip them with the necessary tools to make decisions. So now the business case has been presented to the senior management, and after their thorough review, they take 2 decisions most of the time. It is approved or rejected. When it is approved, a project is born. Project is kick-started. A project is launched. So when a project is launched, what are all the things we see? We see a project charter, a project sponsor is appointed, project budget is allocated, project resources are identified. These are all the outcomes at this stage. So in enterprise analysis, what we see here is, we start with a business proposal that is written by somebody, maybe one of the stakeholder or a stakeholder group, and it has been received by the enterprise analyst, and he performs the enterprise analysis activities, and he comes out with a business case. That business case has been presented to the management, they review it, and when it is approved, a project is born. If it is rejected, that is the end of the proposal itself. When the business case is rejected, that is the end of business proposal also. So now let us get into kind of like the number of the tasks used in enterprise analysis. Though this is out of scope of this particular discussion, just I am indicating the various tasks that is performed within enterprise analysis in alignment with BABOK version 2. The 5 tasks we have are: define business need, assess capability gaps, determine solution approach, define solution scope, and finally define business case. And our focus is on the business case. So now let us understand from where do we get this? From where do we get this? The kind of like the business case itself. Like, what is the source of this business case? We have to see this like as a holistic thing. We have to see this as a holistic thing. See, all organization has vision. The vision is the kind of like the destination in future. It is a point in this future. That is the point or the future they want to accomplish. They want to reach to this particular destination, which is in future, which is not the current state. So the vision is kind of like a lofty thing, which is in future. And I cannot implement the vision as it is. I cannot implement a vision. It's a kind of like, it is very broad in scope. And I have to break this vision into goals. And here we have broken this vision into various goals. And each goal itself, kind of like for one goal, I may not be in a position to implement one project. So for each goals, we may come out with kind of like we are thinking about various projects. So for those projects, we start with project proposal. Here, one thing we have to remain, or one thing we have to be very careful or appreciate, that is, we will not create any business proposal, or a enterprise analyst or a business analyst will not do any project proposals. He will not work on any project proposal. He will work on proposals that are in alignment with the goal and vision of the organization. Right? That is the first test of whether we should touch the business or the project proposal or not. Whether I should work on this project proposal or not, or business proposal or not, the first test is whether this business proposal or the project proposal is in alignment with the goal and the vision of the organization. If it is not in alignment, then why should I do this? If a business proposal or a project proposal is not alignment with the goal or the vision of the organization, why should I do that? Because this will take the organization in a different direction. I want to take my organization in a route which is in alignment with goal and vision, so that when I complete the project, I will accomplish the goal, and when I complete all my goals, I will accomplish the vision. So basically, we are doing something like a functional decomposition or a work breakdown structure here. So I will appreciate or I will encourage only those project proposals which are in alignment with the goal. And now I have the proposal, assume that it is in alignment, I have verified it is in alignment. Now the thing is, like, I have to come out with a business case. And when the business case is approved, you will see the last line. It is a kind of like, it becomes a project. So here we have 5 layers, that is vision, the top layer. It is broken down into various goals, and then the kind of like, for satisfying this goal, we come out with various project proposals, and for each project proposal, I have to come out with a business case just to facilitate my management to make them or to enable them to make a decision on this. And when they approve the business case, a project is launched. And that is the significance of a business case. Business case is the most important thing in any significant investments or before launching a project within the organization. So now, setting the stage. See, we are talking about a very huge thing today, and we want to do this, we want to do some justice during this 1 hour of discussion. So I won't say at the end of this session, I'm saying I won't say at the end of this session, you will become a master in writing business cases. Number 2, in any business case presentation, you will be the winner. This is not possible in such a short span, and there are several other reasons. If I say that the number 1 and 2, it is wrong. But what we want to accomplish here, like, just we have to agree that what we are going to accomplish in the next 40 or 50 minutes or so. Number 1, we will learn the necessary ingredients of a business case. What are all the things that are needed in a business case? Number 1, we will understand that. Second, it is not the question of whether I am winning or losing in a business case, because I am a neutral person. I kind of like, I don't write a business case just for the sake it has to win. No, because if I make a wrong business case to win, I do a huge injustice to the organization and to my profession. A wrong business case should not win, a right business case should win. This is the equation. So I am not emotional about that my business case should win. That is not the question at all. So winning or losing on a business case is not the thing. That is not the question here. So with this understanding, we will get into. Now, see, in a business case is relatively a complex thing, and it has both elements of the art and science, right? The thing is, like, if you kind of like, many people, they fight on these extremes of this particular continuum. The continuum is like any continuum is. A continuum is something, I draw a line, right, cold and hot on each end. That is a continuum. It talks about a single parameter on its extremities. Here, I have a continuum. One end of this continuum shows a business case should have a clear-cut template. That is one end, a strict template. This is the way you have to present. And the other end is called creativity. That is a kind of like, you write the way you want. Okay. So these two ends are actually not good. We have to take a middle path that is pragmatic. So how Merriam-Webster defines pragmatic? Dealing with the problems that exist in a specific situation in a reasonable and logical way instead of depending on ideas and theories. Here when I say theories, it refers to the templates. The thing is like we should not be, as a writer of a business case or as an enterprise analyst or a senior business analyst, I should not be too bogged down with the template. But at the same time, I should not say, I will write the business case in any way you want, any way I want, as long as I'm able to deliver this. It's a kind of like these two ends are, I would say, extremes. Let us take a middle path. The middle path is the pragmatic. And there, when I say pragmatic, I should prepare the business case in kind of like a reference to my audience. To whom I am presenting the business case. I'm presenting to a group of persons who are in a position to decide on this. They want to make an investment decision. They want to kind of like approve this, and I'm presenting to them. So I have to, in alignment with these people, that is according to my audience, I have to prepare the business case. It depends on the audience. That is pragmatic approach, and audience-oriented business case writing is the best method. So we need not have to think too much about, because many a time people say, people buy templates for writing business case from online, and the thing is like it miserably fails. On the other side, a person, he doesn't follow anything and he has his own free run of creativity. Both are, I would say, deadly paths. Let us take a middle path, that is pragmatic approach and aligning my business case with the people to whom I am presenting my business case. Now, the business case writer's mindset. What is that? See, as a business case writer, we should be neutral. That is the first thing. That is the reason I'm saying we should never bother about winning or losing business case. That is not the case here. It is like ultimately the management is trusting me in my organization that if it is coming from this person, it is a neutral one. That kind of trust I have to establish within my organization. That trust will come over a period of time. Trust is a function of time. So the thing is like when we write a business case, it is not that my business case is going to get accolades or kind of like I'm going to lose, but it is about kind of like presenting the right things to the management to make them or to enable them to make decisions. So in the business case, the two important things are cost and benefits. A business case can be simply defined as, it is a document, it helps the management to evaluate the cost and benefits out of an investment, right? A simple definition of a business case is, a business case is a document that enables the management to evaluate the cost and benefits to make certain investment decisions. So that is the purpose of a business case. But it is not just cost and benefit alone. Let us add one more thing called risk. It is cost plus risks and benefit plus risks. Why we are saying risk in two places? The thing is like, there are risks associated with the cost, there are risks associated with the benefits. Why we are saying this? For example, I kind of like, I estimated certain cost for a particular project. The risk associated with that cost is, the cost may escalate tremendously in a coming year due to high inflation. It is a risk. That is the risk associated with the cost. Or some of the assumptions I made, it's a completely different. It is wrong. Or the government imposed a new import duty, because of that my raw materials are shooting up kind of like exponentially. That is the risk associated with the cost. On the other side, benefit, the benefit could come under various risks. That is, I may not be in a position to realize the benefit what I have anticipated, maybe due to various reasons. So all those things are coming under the benefits and associated risks. So this is the business case. The business case, the core of the business case is cost, benefit, and risks. If I'm addressing and analyzing all the three things in a greater detail, I'm good with my business case, at least at a very high level. Just a moment. Okay, I have many questions along the way. People are asking several questions. Since we have a lot of participants here, I'm very frequently getting the questions. Don't get discouraged that I'm not answering your question, because otherwise we may not be able to complete this whole discussion. What I will do is shoot your questions and don't hesitate to ask the questions. What we will do is, during the next 2 days, all your questions will be answered through email, or kind of like we will post all the questions like a document so that everybody can benefit out of these questions. That would be a better way. The reason is like we have a defined the syllabus here. That is the reason I'm not answering right away. Don't get discouraged. Shoot your questions and you will get the answers in couple of days. So we discussed the business case writer's mindset. Now, business case gives direction to the organization. Okay, just kind of like read this. When one sets himself on a wrong road, it is not possible to reach the right destination, at least not at optimal cost. Either he will never reach the destination at all, or at least he will not reach at a optimal cost. So that is the business case. So the business case is kind of like the start point of a project. That is the start point. If that is wrong, the whole thing will fail. So kind of like for many companies, you might have heard like during this corporate history, you might have heard this, that many companies failed by selecting wrong products or services. They never made the right business case, and they ventured on that. They ventured on a wrong business case. They betted on a wrong business case, and that killed the organization itself. A business case is such a highly potential one. It is like a knife, two-edged knife. It can be kind of like you can do fruitful things, and also it can kill an organization. So that is the kind of like highly potential thing. That is the reason like many organizations, they want people at the enterprise analysis level or like an enterprise analyst who can write a beautiful business case. Beautiful in the sense it should be kind of like good on content as well as in intent. Okay, it's a kind of like the result. Fine. A survey from, I would like to share this survey from Standish Group. Standish Group conducts several surveys kind of like in the information technology area. So this is an abstract from a 2009 survey. What it says, out of 100 projects, each 100 project executed, 32% of the projects are successful. Here, what is the meaning of this success? That is, it has been executed within the cost and the time, that is within the budget in terms of time and money. It has been executed within the cost and time. Second, it has delivered whatever it is intended. Whatever the requirements we thought of, it was delivered by the project, and it satisfied the customer or it satisfied the client, right? That is called a successful project, right? We don't have a debate on this, like what is a successful project, right? It is within the cost and time, and it delivered the requirements what it was anticipated to deliver, or it was designed to deliver. Okay. And the second set, which is very broad, 44% challenged projects. Challenged project is to a high level, it delivered the kind of like requirements, but not within the time or budget, but it exceeded one of these two parameters or both. That is challenged projects. That is, the requirements are delivered to a greater extent, but it was not executed within the time and cost. Then the third category, we have failed projects. Some authors call this as a fatally failed projects. What is failed or fatally failed projects? That is, I ordered for a apple juice and I was delivered orange juice. I do any amount of rework on the apple juice, I cannot convert into a orange juice. That is called a fatally failed project. That is, no amount of troubleshooting, repairing, defect clearing, or kind of like correcting the bugs will solve this or will deliver this kind of like the requirements what it was intended. So those are all called failed projects. See, 1/4, this is not a very old survey, this is from 2009. 1/4 of all the projects are fatally failing. And two reasons for fatally failed projects. 80% of them are wrong business cases. 20% of them are very poor understanding in requirements. So the thing is like business case is such an important thing. Now this failed, you can divide into 80-20. 80% the business case itself is a failure. When I start on a failure note, kind of like where I will become succeed. Kind of like I took a wrong route. There is no point like I will reach the destination. My starting itself is wrong. So that is a kind of like a failed project. Now let us have a kind of like small understanding here about capacity and capability, because we will use these terms within this. See, capability and capacity. Let us take a small example. I'm able to lift 100 kg. I lift 100 kg. So I am capable to lift 100 kg, right? Capability is the ability to do certain things. And what is the business case is asking for? It is asking for capability at certain capacity, right? So what is capability? Capability is the ability to do certain things. Now I am able to lift 100 kg now. And you are saying you are capable to lift 100 kg. Fine. And I have a weightlifter next to me. He is able to lift 100 kg weight 100 times. I am able to lift only once. So I am also capable to lift 100 kg. He is also capable to lift 100 kg. Then what is the difference? The difference is the capacity. My capacity is only once. His capacity is 100 times. So the thing is like that is the difference between capability versus capacity. And capability and capacity both are demanded by a certain business case. A business case is ultimately asking for certain capability, and that capability will be accomplished through by implementing projects. Now here we have two scenarios. An enterprise analyst, he will go through this business proposal. We said at the beginning, the enterprise analyst will transform the business proposal into a business case, right? That's what we were discussing. The enterprise analyst will transform the business proposal into a business case. So while doing that, he comes across these three scenarios. Number one, there is no capability in this organization. Okay, then he has to go for kind of like when there is no capability, there is no question of capacity. When I'm not able to lift even once, then where is the question of capacity, right? So when there is no capability, there is no question of capacity. So I have to go ahead with my business case. Second, the organization has the capability, right? The organization has the capability, but it doesn't have excess capacity. So in that case also, the business proposal has to be processed and a business case has to be produced. Number three, scenario three, the organization has both capability and capacity. In that case, I will not try to duplicate the capability with additional capacity. So in that case, I will return the business proposal. This is just to kind of like understand that I will not try to create a business case out of all business proposals whenever it depends on the situation or scenarios. Fine, let us take one small case, and I hope very rarely people would have seen this smartphone. Anybody has seen this smartphone? Most probably not. And if you are one, then kind of like I would say you are the rare of the rare, because this smartphone came from Microsoft in the year 2010, and only 500 units were sold. 500 units in a smartphone. Can you imagine how much they spent? $1 billion. So ultimately, if you bought a smartphone, if you bought this smartphone, it is kind of like you can say its cost is $500,000. Okay, not at the time of purchase, but the amount spent on that individual unit, right? Because $1 billion was spent on producing 500 units which were sold in the market. Okay, such a costly phone, right? So now here, what is the thing we want to talk here? It is this phone. We never came across this phone. Okay, even I know like through the case study only, not kind of like in 2010. I never encountered this smartphone at all. But the thing is, here, what is the point we want to talk? That is, it is a completely failed project. $1 billion was spent and 500 units were sold. Can anyone kind of like digest this? it is a failure of business case. Here I won't say it is a requirement failure, it is an implementation failure. No, it is a when this kind of colossal failure happens, it is primarily, you can simply say without any much doubt, you can say it is a failure of the business case itself. A wrong business case has been presented to the management, and it was not it was not the correct one, okay, or it failed miserably. So now somebody may say like it was not marketed well, okay, not marketed well. If you don't have the capability to do the market, why did you approve this business case? Because it was not evaluated properly. The marketing capability of that organization was not evaluated. And somebody else says, because of certain technical glitches, we are not able to deliver whatever the thing we thought of. Okay, if you don't have the capability to deliver that, if you don't have this technical know-how or the technology expertise, why did you get into this smartphone in the first place? So all those things will boil down to a poor due diligence while preparing or presenting the business case. You can accuse the entire team that is composed of the management as well as the business analyst, because he prepared this business case. Okay. Yeah, we will share this presentation. It will be available through our website as well as IABA Chennai chapter YouTube channel. So you can access this presentation. So now let us have a broader definition of business case. Sometime back we discussed a smaller definition of business case. Here it is a broader one. A business case describes a document delivering a cost-benefit justification for an investment proposition. It may also be called a benefit analysis, return on investment, a payback investigation, or a value finder. Okay, this is a definition of business case. We can write a one-sentence business case by saying like just to for smaller things or just to kickstart. This is like a small template. Okay, here you have to fill up 4 things. One is, what is the business pain point, which is also known as problem statement. What is the business pain point? Then proposed investment. What is the thing you want to invest? What is the net present value you will get out of that? And what are all the metrics you will how this project success will be measured? Okay, so I would say in order to improve a particular business problem or a business pain point, a need, a opportunity, we are doing $1 billion investment, which is worth, it's the net present value is say $2 billion, say present value. Okay, before getting into net present value, let us say present value is $2 billion and can be measured by, okay, what are all those metrics? By the sales revenue or the profitability, something. So here I'm saying what is the problem I'm attacking? What is the kind of investment I'm going to make? And what is the present value? That is what is the future cash flows should be discounted to the current period. We will have a discussion on that in the subsequent slide. And which can be measured by what is the measuring yardstick? Okay, what is the scale of measurement you have to say that this business case is a successful one after implementation? So it is a one sentence business case. Okay, this is just for to talk about at a high level. Now, a business case impact and the process. You see, business case is 2 things. One is it is a document. Okay, it is an artifact. I have a set of document. I have a bunch of document in my hand. It is called a business case. That is correct. It is a noun. Here it is noun. And the type of activity, okay, that is also called a business case. That is, have you presented business case? That means it could be document or it could be the activity I performed. Okay, so it is the action part. So here we talk about here business case impact and process. The business case impact we have to see in a in a 2 dimension. On the left hand side, the first column, correct investment and wrong investment. Okay. And on the top row, you are seeing selected and rejected. It is like a 2x2 matrix. We have a 2x2 matrix here, and it says correct investment, wrong investment, selected and rejected. The selected, rejected are about business cases. Selected a business case, rejected a business case. If a correct investment is selected, it will result in excellent benefits, right? If a correct investment is rejected, we lost a opportunity to improve my organization, or we lost a set of benefits, kind of like a higher market growth, or kind of like a good brand image within the industry. It could be anything, but it is an opportunity lost. On the other hand, I made wrong investment by selecting. I selected a business case and made a wrong investment. It is a disaster. I selected a business case which is a wrong investment. Okay, that means I invested $2 billion on a project and that project miserably failed. Right? I selected a wrong business case. Okay. And the second thing is the fourth box is I rejected a wrong investment. I avoided a risk. So where should the thing is like the business case writers and the management capability, because it is not, we cannot say only the business analyst, right? Ultimately, it is the decision is coming from the management. But I should have done my job, right? So the thing is like when a correct business case is selected, when a wrong business case is rejected, we have done our job. In other two cases, we miserably failed, which result in either a huge opportunity lost or a disaster for the organization itself. And typically, how we do this business case process? What is the way we move? First, we have to understand what is the problem statement. Okay, what is the problem or the need or the opportunity in front of the organization? That is by understanding the business proposal, because we don't create anything suo moto. Suo moto in the sense like on my own. As a business analyst, we will not launch a project, right? We will not write a business proposal. The business proposal primarily comes from one of the stakeholder within the organization. He or she may be in any of the departments. And they perceived a need, problem, or opportunity. That need, problem, or opportunity I should understand properly. First thing. Then second, I should analyze the cost involved in doing this. When I say a cost, it is not only the business analysis part of the cost, it is the entire life cycle. It is the entire life cycle. I have to analyze the cost. Then I have to discover the benefits. What are all the benefits I will derive out of this? Then finally, it has to be evaluated, presented, and subsequently, kind of like when I presented, it will be approved, and subsequently, I have to constantly measure: are we in the line of the business case which is approved by the management? That is, constantly we should measure: are we in the line of the business case? Because the business, sometimes it happens because of the scope creep. The presented business case is one, and the executed one is something else. So that is the reason we have to measure, because the business case is the one that has been approved by the management, that has been approved by the senior management. It has the sanctity or the blessing from the management. Whether it is a scope of the solution, the cost of the solution, or kind of like the resources required for the solution, everything should be as promised in the business case. But whenever there is a change, we should seek the approval from the management itself by presenting it again. Okay, so that is the reason we have to constantly measure. Okay, now while understanding, like we said, the first process is understanding, right? While understanding, basically we do the elicitation. We go and speak to our stakeholders, the key stakeholders, and typically these are all the questions. Like there is no end to these questions, right? This is kind of like, I would say, the most important questions we can ask or think of. What kind of like the questions are: what goals and priorities does the stakeholder have? What past experience does the stakeholder have with similar investments? How can the stakeholder benefit from investment? What expectations about the project does the stakeholder have? What input is required from the stakeholder during the business case phase and during implementation? What questions and doubts does the stakeholder have about the suggested investment? So we are talking about the cost, benefits, and investment and the other risks, right? That's what we are talking here. So those things has to be asked. Now, from this question, we can see, like, What are the main components of a business case? Without these four things, it is not a business case. Whatever format or template I use, that's what we said. These are all the minimum ingredients a business case should contain. Without this, a document doesn't make a business case. The three major things and the fourth one are cost, risk, and benefits are the three major things. The cost, benefits, and the associated risks. These things has to be kind of like clearly identified, and if we miss something here, that results in the failure of the business case. That is, some of the assumptions and risks are not identified. That is a huge thing. The costs are underestimated. It's a huge risk. Benefits are overstated. Again, we kind of like we make false promises to the business case. So it has to be factually supported. There should be a research behind this. It is not why we say business case. Many a time the authors, like if you go through some of the popular books, they say business case is like a white paper. You might have heard in news that in Parliament or in Congress, they present white papers to the opposition parties or to the other parties. The purpose of the white paper is kind of like, it is not my opinion, it is the fact we got it from the sources, appropriate sources. That is the purpose of a white paper. The white paper, irrespective of the person, it is not my opinion or my emotion, but it is the facts and figures. That is called the business case in business climate. Among the business circle, we call the white paper as the business case. So the business case should talk about the cost, risk, and benefit without fear or favor. It should tell the truth. And the fourth element is strategic flexibility options. You see, to accomplish or to deliver a capability to the organization. Why we come out with a business case? Because the business case is planning to deliver a capability to the organization. We do the business case, and subsequently when it is approved, we do a project, and that project will offer certain capability or add certain capability to the organization, so that the organization can perform or excel in one or more areas. That is the purpose of a business case. And here, the thing is like I have to explore all the options. A typical option could be, for example, a company wants to get into mobile apps. They want to kind of like, start a new area called mobile applications development. They can accomplish this through various options. One is they can outsource. Second, they can hire people who know mobile applications development. Third, they could train people within the organization. Fourth, they can acquire another small company which is good in mobile applications development. So these are all the various options, right? All those options has to be explored. One side it is exploring options, and for each of those options I have to see what are all the cost, risk, and benefits. And whichever is offering the better value proposition, that needs to be selected at the end of the presentation by the management and approved by the management. So the cost stages, what are all the various costs involved in a business case? It is in various stages. It is an entire life cycle we are talking here. At the beginning of a project, that is when we do this, like that is while doing the business case, there is certainly certain cost involved. That is, I travel to different offices to meet my stakeholders. My time spent, the business analyst time, my stakeholders prorated time, that is how much time they spent with me. So all those things are involved in the pre-business case. That is a cost. Then pre-commissioning, okay, that is kind of like development and commissioning, then operating it and decommissioning. So it is talking about, I would say, the greater life cycle. That is, when we say greater life cycle, we mean it is not only the software development life cycle, but after that it has a life cycle called product life cycle. It combines both. This is talking about the cost involved in kind of like, I would say, cradle to grave. It is from the birth till kind of like it goes to the end of life. So that is the cost stages. This cost has to be kind of like accounted. And the various cost types we have to be aware of are hidden cost, knock-on cost, soft cost, then sunk cost, general overhead cost, opportunity cost. The two most important costs are sunk cost and opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is, had I not been doing this, what I will be doing and what I will be earning out of that. Or if I'm not investing here and investing somewhere, okay, for example, I have two investment options. One is depositing in a national bank savings. I'll get a fixed deposit interest of say 10%. It is not 10% now, it is sometime past. Now it is 10%, say. So for any investment I made, certainly I will get a 10%. But on the other hand, I am exploring few stocks. And these stocks I am exploring and I'm seeing like it could offer, or I could benefit from the stock anywhere between 20 to 30%. Because I'm not getting 30, I will not be unhappy because I'm getting 20. And this 20 is more than this 10. So that is so here the opportunity cost is I should I should better invest in the stock rather than the fixed deposit. The sunk cost is to we go after bird, or throwing money after bad. Something went wrong, and to make it to make it better and better, which is impossible. That is, it is like a fatally failed project, and we throw money behind that to improve that. So that is called sunk cost. Sunk cost means it is out of equation. You have to just keep it aside. It is done. Then the various cost types, you can this gives a comparison. Okay, that is what you have to take in, what you have to take out. Then various investment characteristics need to be explored. You see, the scope of your investment could be, I'm starting from the 12 o'clock position. It could be a response option. That is, you are responding to a problem or a need or an opportunity. It is a response option. It could be a large or smaller investment. It is something you have to must do. For example, you are getting a direction from the regulatory body. You have to implement. So it is a must do. There is no question of like whether we should do or not. There is no question. You have to do. Then diversification or expansion. Then cost saving. You want to by implementing, you will be able to save some cost by automating a dispatch system in an insurance company through barcode. You are able to save people writing those things. Okay, you are automating a dispatch section. Then R&D are you are coming out with a new product. It is related to that investment. So a investment could fit in any of these things because these are all the different scopes. Let us understand this time value of money. When we say cost, it will not be complete. It will not be complete without discussing the time value of money, or when we say business case, time value of money, the understanding should be very precise. So here, many of you may be already aware of this, but for some it may be new. That is the reason I will explain it from basic without assuming your prior knowledge. So here, just read this top line. A dollar today is worth more than a dollar tomorrow because money has interest. Okay, money has an element which is called interest. The money I have today, it grows over a period of time. Okay, that is, I have to invest, right? I have to put it in bank. So I deposit money in a bank, it grows over a period of time. So here, if you see this different things, different inverted L's, each one is indicated as a year. I am at the beginning of year 1. I am depositing $100 in a bank, and it gives 10% interest. So by the time of next year, okay, I invested 100. So at the end of this year or at the beginning of the second year, I have earned a 10% income on this investment as an interest. It is the income through interest, right? So I got, that is 10% of this $100, $10. So my investment became $110 at the beginning of the second year, because after 1 year of investment, I never touched this money. And again, I'm not touching this money. So at the end of my second year or at the beginning of this third year, my money becomes $121. That is, I earned 11% interest on this $110. So it is $11. So it becomes 121. This is for 10% interest rate. This is called compounding. When I take the money from today towards the future, the money grows. That is called compounding, right? It is compound interest. And the same way, if I bring money from the future while calculation, right? During calculation, if I bring money from future to the current period, it is called discounting. Okay, so if somebody says after 2 years I will kind of like give you 121, please give me some money. Okay, so assuming a 10% interest, I will give him only $100 today, because he is promising $121 after 2 years, at the end of 2 complete years. And today he is demanding some money from me. How much I should give? I'll give $100 only, because that 121, assuming there is no profit for me. Okay, it is a I would say friend. Okay, so for friend also I'm charging interest. Okay, because I'm having an opportunity. If I put this money in a bank, I will earn 10%. So I'm telling him, like, you give me just 10%. I don't want any profit out of this more than my opportunity. So you give me 10% interest. So he promises to give me $121 after 2 years, and now I will give him only $100, right? This process is called discounting. That is, bringing future money to the current period is called discounting. Taking current money to the future period is called compounding. So the time value of money can be calculated as the future value function. Future value equal to the current investment into 1 plus r to the power n. So by here the FV says future value, x indicates kind of like the investment, and what is the return on that is the interest rate, and the number of years, that is how many periods. In the previous example we talked about 2 years, okay, 2 complete years, and here kind of like you can use this formula to bring the future value of any money, or kind of like you can reverse this and you can make it as a present value also. Then benefits. Now let us understand the benefits taxonomy. The benefits has to be seen in this framework. It's a good one. See, features provide benefits. Many a time we get confused between features and benefits in a business case. A business case should talk about benefits, not features. Features belongs to the product. We don't even near to the product at this point, right? This is when we talk about the business case, it is at the very beginning, even before launch of the project. Because when I convince my management with a proper business case, then they may approve and it will become a project. So features are something like irrelevant in a business case, but many a time people talk about features in a business case. That is not the right thing. It should be benefits. We will talk about the difference between features and benefits. So the benefits should be, you can classify them into monetary benefits and non-monetary benefits. So the biggest audience of a business case is the CFO. The most interesting person, or kind of like he is the person who is most interested in the business case. And for him, emotion doesn't matter. I cannot say in the business case that by doing this, my customers will be happy. He doesn't bother. He will ask you, okay, how much it will result in terms of money. So in a business case, there is no place for opinions and emotions. A business case should be free from emotions and opinions. It should speak the monetary value. It should speak money. The only language that is accepted in a business case is dollars. So I have to convert all my non-monetary benefits into monetary benefits. I have to convert this non-monetary, that is certain tangible or intangible non-monetary benefits, I have to translate them into into monetary benefits or convert them into monetary benefits. So how do we do this? It's a relatively hard task. We have to kind of like we have to support those conversions with our assumptions, because we should not take wild assumptions. Let us take a small scenario just to understand this. I'm saying, like, by implementing a particular customer improvement system, okay, there is a customer enhancement system we are implementing. I'm saying this will make our customers happy. My CFO will ask me that, okay, it's happy, I'm fine, that is good, but I don't bother about this. What is that monetary value? So now I have to explain him that my customers will be happy, and because of that there will be more word of mouth references, and because of those references I will get good business, and this will result in reducing my advertisement budget. If I have good word of mouth references, I can reduce my advertisement budget. So I'm saying I will reduce my advertisement budget by $500,000. So that $500,000 is the monetary benefit. That $500,000, that is the $500,000 equivalent of word of mouth, that is called the monetary benefit. So now here I started with my customers are happy, I converted them into $500,000. That's what they want. That's what the CFO want. So the monetary benefits can be further classified. So here there is no classification of non-monetary benefits. The reason is, whatever be the non-monetary benefits, it has to be converted into monetary benefits. There is no other options. So now I'm classifying these monetary benefits. It is some monetary benefits will reduce cost, some will increase revenue, and we have further subdivisions. Finally, you have to consolidate them all, and you have to say that this is the net monetary benefit. That net monetary benefit is the benefit. Okay, that should take place, or that should become part of the business case. And what is the difference between features and the benefit? We just discussed. Feature only represents an element of functionality. Benefit relates to the business outcome. The feature is the cause, benefit is the effect. Feature yields the benefit. So the thing is, like, features are some of the things you can see, touch and feel, but benefits are the things that are resulted, that helps the business in certain way. So that is the difference between features versus benefit. Features should not become part of the business case because it is very premature. Benefit should become part of the business case. Then here I have just given the formulas for return on investment, profitability index. Just to go through this, you will get an idea about this. Benefit cost ratio. Then we are coming to the last part of the business case, hazards and risk. We said three things are very important, that is cost, benefit and risk. So here I am dividing this kind of like, just to make it clear, the hazard and risk. We call this term fortune, right? Fortune is like a matter of luck, and this is coming from the Roman god for randomness, fortuna. The thing is, like, in olden days in Rome, before the war, they praise this god to give luck to them in the war. Okay, so here risk is a matter of chance. Luck is also a matter of chance. You can call risk as a negative thing, luck as a positive thing, right? So here, hazard. What is a hazard? Hazard are the things that can go wrong and can harm your project or harm your investment. That is a hazard. And what is the risk? Risk is the chance of that happening. The chance of a hazard happening, damaging or harming your project is called the risk. So what is a risk? Risk are the things, risk are the hazards that may or may not happen. How much it will happen, when it will happen, we don't know. So that is the risk, that is the nature of the risk. Risk is the kind of like unexpectedness of the hazard. And what should we do in terms of risk? We have to identify the risk, we have to do an assessment of the risk, and we have to treat those resources. Treatment is, what is the plan you have, how you are going to overcome, because all business has risk. If a business says that we will venture into an area where there is no risk, that means they cannot do anything, because any business activity has a risk. Whether this risk is identified, assessed and treated, That is important. Or you are prepared. The treatment is like, are you prepared? Is it a manageable risk? Is it within the tolerance? Is it within which your company can operate? That your company can kind of like succeed, or your company can kind of like absorb that risk without failing. So those are all the things we have to do. Then the types of risks are business risk, financial risk, technical risk, and implementation risks. Then, so far we talked about the business case as a document as well as a process. And the four important things we talked about a business case is: number one, the cost, then the risks involved, the third one, the benefits, the fourth one, the portfolio or the options, the strategic flexibility options, a portfolio of ideas. So far we kind of like we understood that the four major elements, but typically a business case report can contain these elements at a very high level. Preface, a small introduction about the business case, the table of contents of that report, executive briefing, say like 1 or 1.5 pages. Okay, in many companies they have a word limit to write the executive briefing. It should have three parts. One is, what do you recommend? What is the summary of results and the decision to be taken by the management? Okay, that is a kind of like we give a snapshot of the whole business case. That is the executive briefing. Then the introduction, the various business drivers, the scope of this business case and the project, proposed project, the financial metrics. Then analysis, what are the various assumptions we have? The net present value cash flow statement. Then cost, benefit and risk, strategic options, opportunity cost. Then finally the conclusion. Now it is question and answer time. But before that, I will do a quick summary of what we discussed so far for everybody's benefit, so that we will have the. See, we started with this BABOK version 2 overview. We said the BABOK version 2 has 9 chapters, foundation chapters and knowledge areas. Under knowledge areas, we have 6 chapters. The most important one we wanted to talk about is enterprise analysis. In enterprise analysis, what we do, we transform the business proposal into a business case to facilitate the management to make a decision on certain investment, which will result in a project. So at the end of enterprise analysis, when the business case is approved, the project is born. And in enterprise analysis, we have these 5 stages. That is business proposal, enterprise analysis activities, then business case is presented, business case is reviewed, and finally it is either approved or rejected, then subsequently the project is launched. In BABOK version 2, under enterprise analysis, we have 5 tasks. That is, define business need, capability gaps, solution approach, solution scope, and finally defining business case. And we said the vision, goal, project, proposal, business case, and the project, it is kind of like it should be all these 5 layers should be aligned. We said at the end of this session, we will have we will understand or learn what are the necessary ingredients of a business case. And the second thing we wanted to understand, or we want to understand, that there is no question of whether I am succeeding or failing in a business case. Whether my business case is approved or not, that is not the question. Whether as a whole, as a business analyst and the management, we did the right things. That is very important. And here we said there is a continuum. The continuum is 2 ends of this continuum are, one is a strict template, the other one is a complete free run. You do whatever you want to present this business case. Both are not a good practice. The pragmatic approach and audience-oriented approach is the best one. The business case writer's mindset. We said cost, benefit, and the associated risks of cost as well as the benefits are important. We discussed this Standish survey, that is, out of 100 projects, 32 become successful, 44 are challenged, and 24% are fatally failed. And we discussed about this Microsoft small case. Then we defined the business case, 1 sentence business case. It is a kind of like a starting point before writing a business case. This helps you to to put a thought around this, then you can do an elaborate exercise on each of these 4 elements. Then we talked about the business case impact in a 2x2 matrix and process. The various questions we can ask to stakeholders at a very high level. And these are all the 4 main components of your business case. That is cost, benefit, and risks. Then the 4th one is strategic flexibility options. Then we discussed the cost stages, cost types, investment characteristics. Then we understood the time value of money, the benefits taxonomy, the difference between features and benefit, the various formulas. Like I'm just skipping this because you can go through this and have a better understanding. Then we finally talked about the hazards and risk, and we discussed kind of like the key elements of a business case report. Okay. With this, I'm concluding my session. Kind of like I will go through some of the questions, and I will take the very relevant ones. Okay, I'm going through. I have several questions. I will go through some of these questions. Lorna has a question here. What is the importance and the purpose of a business plan? You see, the business plan is a business case. Okay, but the business plan talks about a very broader area because it is to launch a business itself rather than talking about one investment. When I present a business case, I am talking about one software or a machinery which we want to buy. So my scope is very small. But when I talk about a business plan, this is about the business itself. So it is very complex in nature, and the business case forms a part of this business plan. Okay. And I have another question. I have so many questions. I'm going through like I'm randomly going through so that I give opportunity to everyone. Okay. Khalid has a question here. He's asking this from Egypt. I'm asking if I don't know who is the audience, or if they are not your direct management, how can I be audience oriented? Okay, good question. So Khalid, here the thing is, even though my business case here what you are saying is you are developing this business case for some other organization where you are not in touch with the audience. Okay, but somebody has to provide the view of the audience. Okay, when we should not prepare the business case in complete absence of audience. It is not that I should be sitting in front of them. Okay, for somehow we have to get their preferences, because see, they can give the right perspective to us. I have to have a greater understanding at the beginning of the business case. If that is absent, what happens? They expected something, we delivered something. Okay, that will create a huge gap between the business case and the audience expectations. Then Devi has a question here. Will business analysts prepare business case? In many cases, it is not. Most of the time, the senior business analyst or enterprise analyst or one of the VP or somebody reporting to a business consultant, business advisor, they prepare the business cases. And typically, like we have seen several organizations where they have an enterprise analysis team. There is a think tank. They are the enterprise analyst. Many organizations may not call these people as enterprise analysts because they will be working only on business cases, and in a month or two they will deliver one business case because it is 100 crores or kind of like a $50 million. Okay, so that is a huge investment a company is making. Okay, and the thing is like it's I would say it is not typically given to a junior person, but it is typically senior business analysts who have like 10 to 15 years of experience, and we have even seen people who have like 25 years experience as a senior business analyst or an enterprise analyst or a business advisor. They prepare the business case. The main reason is to prepare a business case, we should have a complete understanding of the enterprise architecture. That is how this business is operating. Okay, how this business is operating, and have a good command over the I would say the domain. Okay, all these things are, I would say, prerequisites to write a business case for the organization. Okay, then Okay, Badri Krishnan is asking a question. I think I missed that particular context, but I will reproduce that. Like I think when I presented the scenario, that is scenario 1, 2, 3, and at some point of time, I said return the business proposal. Okay, so he's asking, what do you mean by returning the business proposal? That means that business proposal is not required, because whatever the capability that business proposal is asking for, it is already available within the organization. Okay. Okay, I think Kirtivasan also asked for the same thing. Umakant also asked for the same thing. It is returning the, maybe I misspelled as returning the business case. It is returning the business proposal. Okay, because the business proposal is coming to the enterprise analyst, and he transforms that business proposal into a business case, right? He prepares the business case. And when there is no need for the capability as well as the capacity, he has to return the business proposal. Okay. Okay, Badri has a question. So a person who prepares the business case should collaborate with all teams across the organizations. I won't say it is all teams. It is, I would say, key stakeholders, because at this point of time we should not do elaborate elicitation. Okay, rather we should do a kind of like a limited elicitation or meeting with our key stakeholders. Typically, it will be kind of like where is the real the source of this pain, okay, or the pain point or the problem statement. Your problem statement will define that who are all the people we should talk to, right? And it should be limited. It should not be kind of like a very elaborate exercise like we do for kind of like requirements gathering. Okay, it is I would say it is a mini requirements gathering. Okay, I'm skipping many questions. Okay, the main reason is either it is a little bit out, or business case. Are there any role in process organization who approved or rejects the business case? Okay, are there any? Yeah, you see, I think I responded this. It's asked by Prashant. Is there any role who prepares the business case? Okay, in organization. Okay, the thing is, like, we have a role. Okay, it is typically whether we name it as a senior business analyst, enterprise analyst, or business consultant, business advisor. Somebody is doing, okay, they may not be called by this name. Typically it is done by one of the VP. Okay, one of the VP who is close to the CEO, or who is trusted by the CEO or trusted by the CFO. They prepare the business case. At least they work on paper. Okay, but many organizations that doesn't have a good practice of preparing a business case, and they make decisions on the go. That is, they have a discussion, and during the discussion it evolves. What happens? People tend to forget points. So that is a kind of like, those are all the missing things that will result in kind of like wrong decisions in a business case. Ashok has a question here. Should the business case also specify the metrics that were used to measure and quantify the associated cost and benefits involved? Okay, absolutely. It's a very right point. Okay, the business case, kind of like, it should provide the metrics. It should constantly measure the business case during implementation as well. Okay, that is it going as per the business case? Okay, Ramesh has a question. Cost involved in developing a business case need to be included as part of a business case? Exactly, you are correct. That is like, when you see the cost, it is like we call it like the pre-cost, or the building cost of business case, because it also has a cost that also should become part of that. Okay. Okay, Sachin Gandhi indicated that X can also be, he is referring to the formula, future value formula. X can also be written as present value. Absolutely correct. Whom should be involved in writing the business case? It is basically, Nora has a question. Nora has this question. Basically, it is the management team, the business analyst, and the various stakeholders who are well connected with the problem statement. Okay, because we don't want to do elaborate elicitation. All right, it will be limited elicitation. because it is a kind of like at a very high level. Okay. Navin has a question here. Request you to email the PPT or docs. Thanks in advance. Okay. Definitely we'll be sending this. We won't send this as a PPT, but it will be available. You will get the information that where it is available, and you can visit that particular site, or you can go through the IABA Chennai chapters YouTube channel, and you can watch this recorded video also. Then the next one is Prakash has a question here. Could you provide the validity of BABOK version 2 for taking CBAP professional exam? The thing is like validity, I would say like at this point of time, BABOK version 2 is the material one needs to prepare for CBAP examination. And at this point, we don't have any information from the kind of like the authorized people related to BABOK version 3. So at this point of time, okay, it is BABOK version 2. Okay, Prashant has another question. What is the difference between business proposal and a business case? You see, business proposal is a very small document, not very good analysis is there. Typically, the business proposal, you see, I have a need within the organization. Immediately, I will write a business proposal. I will send it to the enterprise analyst or the CFO or even the CEO. Okay, that is a business proposal. The thing is like, as a writer of the business proposal, you see, this is my baby, right? The business proposal is like, I want something. Okay, I'm not a neutral person. I'm going to be the beneficiary of this. So I have a kind of like limited vision, and moreover, I'm not a being a VP customer service. I'm not a very experienced person. I may be experienced in customer service, but not in kind of like writing a business case. So that is the reason the business case is given to somebody who is neutral, who doesn't have any stake in kind of like deciding pro or con. Okay, he doesn't have like, that is the reason we said we are relatively free from this emotions, right? As a business analyst, I'm not saying I will not work hard to make a business case kind of like approved or rejected. It is up to the management, but I will do my due diligence in providing the facts and figures to enable the management to see all the aspects. It is a 360-degree evaluation of a business proposal, which may not be possible for a VP customer service, because he is bogged down with his own work, and he's a kind of like he's not experienced in this. Okay, in writing the business case. So that is the difference between the business proposal and business case. Business proposal is just the vehicle that communicates to the management that I need something, I need certain capability, give me money. Okay, that is the business proposal. But the business case is a kind of like a thorough analysis or a white paper that brings a 360-degree aspect of the business proposal and gives a complete picture to the management. Badri has a question. What is the kind of collaboration that is required or involved in the process of coming up with a business case? I would say like the collaboration is between management, the relevant stakeholders, and the business analyst. Okay, and it is the other one is, we should do a good document analysis while doing the business case. It is about in what are all the ways, that is, we should learn about how the organization failed in some of the past investments. What are all those reasons? Because we can learn a great deal from those past mistakes and failures as well as successes. Okay, Sanju has a question. Could you please share the yeah, you will get this presentation. Sachin has a good question. Does the business analyst has to do a complete strategic cost analysis? Yes. That is the reason when we say the business analyst and the enterprise analyst, there is a small difference. That is, a business analyst is mostly concerned with the domain and the business analysis skill set. But the enterprise analyst has a kind of like a third qualification. He is very good in finance as well. A good enterprise analyst who is writing the business case should have a good control over the financial aspects, or good command over the financial aspect. He should know kind of like he should know the whole accounting process, journal, ledger, trial balance, P&L and balance sheet, and kind of like understanding the balance sheet, understanding the cost structure within the organization. So that is kind of like you mentioned very clearly, that is strategic cost analysis. That is absolutely correct. Vinod has a question here. Do you have any tips or shortcuts on converting non-monetary benefits to monetary benefits? Yeah, you see, I would say it's a tough question. Okay, the main thing is, you see, many a time non-monetary benefits to monetary benefits, it is creativity. The thing is, like, I can say that this is kind of like I gave an example saying that the word of mouth will give an advantage to the organization, and we can reduce this advertisement budget by 500,000. And here I converted this, the happiness of my customers, into 500,000. But for this, I'm simply telling this, but to substantiate this, I have to do some creative work. Okay. And the thing is, like, I should make the people believe that it is not a very pessimistic estimation, not a very optimistic. It should be a conservative estimation. Okay. The conservative estimation people will take. But if I'm saying like this will completely reduce, we need not have to do any advertisement at all, people will not believe, right? Okay, Srirath has a question. Can you please share sample business cases? You see, actually we write a lot of business cases for our clients. Unfortunately, we have a NDA with them. Okay, so it is it's literally kind of like it is not possible to share the sample business case. But we can do one thing. Maybe in future, like maybe give us some time. Like we will create some I would say fictitious business case. Okay, and we will be able to share that. We will be even like we will upload this in the ba-today.com. Okay, so maybe like you can expect this in another month. Okay, so it takes a little bit of time because we have to come out with a fictitious thing, and one of our consultants will prepare a business case for this. Okay, the thing is like Maragadam has a question here. What is the difference between a business case and a use case? You see, use case is a very specific thing, right? It is about we prepare the context diagram, and within the context diagram we have various use cases. That is how a user and the proposed system will interact. How a user or how an actor. Okay, in the UML language, if you say the actor, the interaction between the actor and the functionality of a particular system is described in the use case. Okay, Alvin has a question here. Is creation of business case limited only to enterprise analysts, or anybody can make a proposal and business case? You see, typically today, okay, what we are talking about, kind of like well-structured organization, okay, which is relatively rare, okay. But the thing is like you are correct in that sense. Anybody who has these capabilities, that is business analysis, the financial expertise, and a good domain knowledge. When we have this three skill set, he is qualified to write a business case for the organization. Okay. Then Rajkumar has a question. Do you recommend to classify business cases in different types? If so, can you please provide examples with the document? The document may be kind of like difficult at this point, but I can give. You see, a business case, it could be for cost reduction. That is like if you go to this if you go to this proposal, we have something called a scope. That scope gives the different types of business cases. One business case is reduce the cost of certain things, cost of operation in your organization. You are kind of like that is a case, you are preparing a business case for implementing lean within your organization. That is addressed towards improvement in process, reduction of cost. Okay, say that is the aim of that business case. Okay, so based on that scope, you have all these different types of business cases. Okay. Okay, Sunil Kumar has a question. Sunil Kumar Nandan has a question. Difference between business analysis plan, and business case. You see, business plan is a very broader thing, right? We discussed that. We discussed the difference between business plan and business case, right? The business analysis plan is, you see, before a project, we do the project plan. We have a project plan. And before doing business analysis, we do the plan. That is called business analysis plan or business analysis planning. So business plan and business analysis plan is different. Business plan is for a larger business itself. But a business analysis plan or planning is about what are all the things I should kind of like keep ready before I start business analysis task. So with reference to BABOK version 2, if you go through the chapter 2 of BABOK, we have the knowledge area, business analysis, planning and monitoring. So what we do in business analysis, planning and monitoring. Basically, we identify the stakeholders, we identify the approach, we identify the process improvement methodology, we come out with the requirements management plan, communication plan, list of activities, how we are going to manage the performance of a business analyst, and whether it is a plan driven or a change driven initiative, the timeliness of business analysis, all those things we plan. Only after this planning we can go and meet our stakeholders to start the requirements gathering or elicitation. Prashant has a question. Are there any tools to develop good business proposal? You see, there are so many softwares or templates that are being sold in the market, or the online templates and other things. I would say the best thing is better stay away from all those things. Develop for that template you can buy a book. That would be I would say a better bet. The thing is, like, we have to understand the nitty-gritties of the business case or the business proposal. Okay, because it is contextual. One template is for a particular given context. It is for that particular author's experience. If I recommend a template here, I'm kind of like I'm doing the whole discussion. What we said, we talked about the ingredients of a business case, but we never said that this is the business case, right? So the main thing is it differs from context to context, audience to audience. Okay, so that is the reason it is better to stay away from these templates. We should learn the process, we should understand the ingredients, but not a template. Okay, Premnath has a question here. Difference between business case and the cost benefit analysis. The cost benefit analysis is part of the business case itself. Sometimes for a project, kind of like when we do the project for an individual element, as we do a project, in the project we have some options. So there we do for individual segments, you do only cost benefit analysis. But in case of a business case, we do the cost benefit analysis for the entire life cycle of the project at a very high level. Varun has a question here. Some of the benefits might not be visible at the time of preparing the business case. Example, things with new technologies which are not yet proven in the market. What financial metrics should we consider in this case? It is applicable both for cost and benefit, right? We have this risk in both. This is the risk. Okay. The biggest challenge in a business case is I have been asked to present about the future. Okay. So the thing is, like, we use decision analysis, decision trees, scenario sensitivity analysis, scenario testing. There are so many tools. We use these appropriate tools to kind of like to predict about the future within the kind of like within I would say within the rational limits. Okay. So we have this difficulty both in case of cost as well as benefit. Today I'm working on a project, and suddenly, like next year, the government increases the import duty, or they are coming out with the anti-dumping measure. The thing is, like, it increases the cost tremendously, but kind of like those things, kind of like some are uncontrollable factors. That is the risk we are running into. Okay, so those risks has to be factored into within a reasonable limit. Though it is kind of like when we don't know any information, factor that as a risk, so that if it doesn't happen, no problem. If it happens, already you have factored into. Okay, that is the way we have to work out. And many a time, okay, kind of like we can rely on history. History repeats itself, right? The future is some element of history is repeated. Simu has a question here. How do you convert non-monetary benefits to monetary benefits for the CFO? Few example on ERP implementation. Okay. See, converting the non-monetary benefits into monetary benefits, relatively it is a challenging one. Okay. So now we have to see, the best thing is preparing the current state and the future state maps for that is before implementation. That is what we are doing now, and what will be in the future. Okay, that is after implementation. So by going through this process map, we can see the key areas. For example, reducing the number of people. Okay, today 100 people may be working, 100 employees may be there in a particular division. By implementing ERP, if you are saying 75, the savings in salary, their other benefits, that is a benefit. Okay, then today we are kind of like generating 10 defects in a day, 10 very I would say fatal mistakes we are doing in a day. Okay, and if we are able to avoid these 10 mistakes in the future after implementing this ERP, it is a benefit, because each defect comes at a cost. For example, like a few days back, some few $billion, okay, few $billion in Dutch bank has been transferred inadvertently by one trader to your account. Okay, the thing is like the bank noticed the subsequent day and that money has been recovered from the account. That is different, but it is such a huge mistake, right? Few $billion has been transferred to one account holder inadvertently. Okay, it was in the newspaper, right? So these are all the kind of like very costly mistakes. By doing this ERP implementation, if you are able to reduce that cost, that is very good. Then if you are able to provide tremendous satisfaction to your customers who are interacting with this, you may be kind of like integrating the suppliers and the customers with your organization. So in your organization, for example, Simu is working in a utility company. Okay, so in this company, by implementing this ERP, I have a visibility with my customers. So whatever the customers demand in a supply chain, we have something called a bullwhip effect. That is, people estimate either extraordinarily or they severely underestimate. Okay, those things we can avoid. This will reduce the inventory cost, processing cost, and other things, wastages. So all those things you can factor into. So it is kind of like, you see, it is ultimately, it is like the sky is the limit. We have to, how creative thinking we are doing. That is the thing. Okay, we have to do some wild thinking. Okay, and brainstorming is a good thing. Okay, collect the relevant people who are having different experience in this thing, and they will be able to come out with. So you can come out with this non-monetary benefits and monetary benefits, and converting that non-monetary benefits into a monetary benefits. It can happen through a brainstorming session. Yeah, the thing is like Sachin asked my LinkedIn thing. Kind of like if you go to the physics website, you will be able to find out at the bottom of the site, or in any of our communications, you can find the LinkedIn link, the LinkedIn URL. Okay, then we have Lakshminaran has a question. Business proposal and project proposal are both same. You see, it is almost equivalent. When we say business proposal, it talks about improving a relatively larger area. When we say a project proposal, it has been already decided we have to implement a CRM. So that is a project proposal. Okay, but when we say how to improve our customer service, then it becomes a business proposal. When you think at a high level, it is a business proposal. When you think at a specific level, then it becomes a project proposal, because already you found out that I have to implement CRM. Okay. Is business case a requirements gathering? I would say at a very high level. Okay. The thing is like we don't do detailed requirements gathering at this point, because we don't know whether it is going to be kind of like, we will not do an elaborate exercise coming out with requirement specification and technical specification, but we will do a very high level just to make our understanding clear. Because I am writing the business case, I should have a better idea and I should have the relevant inputs from the people. Okay. Okay, our business case and benefits management are separate entities. Okay, you see, the business case includes both the includes cost as well as the benefits. Okay, when you say benefits management, it is a kind of like, you see, it is ensuring it is post business case. It's a very good question. When we say business case, it includes both cost and benefits, but when he says benefits management, Naveen is mentioning benefits management, that is ensuring that we get the benefits out of this implementation. So benefits management is during implementation and post implementation, but when the benefits are listed in the business, I am almost reaching the end, but still questions are coming up. Okay, let us conclude, and as requested by Mr. Swaminathan. Thank you so much, and I welcome you all in the subsequent IABA webinar sessions. And your Mr. Kannan and Mr. Swaminathan are planning wonderful sessions through this webinar from various experts, and this is a nice thing. Thank you so much, and please stay in touch. Thank you. Bye.